Well, it seems like I'm leaving my Christmas gift guide for 2023 just as late as I'm leaving it to start my Christmas shopping, because I haven't even started that myself, and it is the 20th of December, so hopefully I can get this video done and edited and put out in time for you guys to be able to go and do some shopping. Before I start rambling on about utterly useless crap like normal, let's just get on with it. So, the plan for this video is going to be 10, and I might give you a bonus one, so maybe 11. Christmas gifts, or just general gifts that you can get for a man that he will not complain about. You're probably expecting me to talk about knives and all that kind of normal EDC stuff that I normally talk about, but I don't really like the idea of people buying knives for other people, because if you're a knife person like myself, if someone goes and buys you a knife but they don't really know about knives, they're either going to get something that you've already got or get something that's not as good as the stuff that you have, and it might not be what you like. So I will not be recommending to buy knives. So that being said, the first thing we're talking about today that a man cannot say no to: whiskey. As you may well already know, there are a lot of different kinds of whiskies, different flavours. You got Irish whiskey, you got Scotch, you got bourbon, you got single malt, you got double malt. But I'm going to be talking about 3 in particular today, which I think are a very good idea as a gift for that man in your life. First one, good old trusty Woodford Reserved and Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. As you can see, I'm a huge fan of Woodford Reserve Double Oaked because I've just been keeping this empty bottle on my shelf for, I don't know, since it was empty, because I just haven't bought a new one yet. But Christmas is around the corner, so maybe I'll get one. Woodford Reserve, the standard one which you can get in pretty much most shops, is a very, very nice whiskey, around £30, maybe $35. Then you get the Double Oaked, which is slightly higher end than the standard. You don't really see this in supermarkets or anything in the UK. In America, yeah, fine, you can go to Target, you can buy it, it's $45. In the UK, if you want to get this, easiest place to get it from is Amazon. Everything in this video, by the way, will be linked down below. Some affiliate links, some not affiliate links. It'll be Amazon and whatever else that I'm going to talk about. So Woodford Reserve Double Oaked, it's a really, really, really nice whiskey. You can drink it straight from the bottle, you can drink it on the rocks, you can drink it neat, you can drink it with a mixer, and all of them taste absolutely fantastic. That Double Oaked just takes the flavour to the next level. And the next one I want to talk about, while we're on the subject of bourbons, Old Forester. This is only the 86 proof one, it's probably one of their weaker ones, but this is the only Old Forester I could find on a shelf, in a shop, in the UK today. I literally went out this morning and bought it especially for this video. It's an absolutely fantastic whiskey. Probably in my top 3 whiskies. Old Forester, you can get 100 proof, you can get 120 proof. Those bottles are obviously more expensive. This bottle cost me, I think it was £28 this morning, so around $30, and it's generally the same price no matter what country you're in generally. So Old Forester is a great, great whiskey for, well, you can session on it, you can get pissed on it, or you can drink it nicely around a fire with your friends whilst listening to some good music. So it's a really good one for many, many different things. It's not too expensive. And then moving away from bourbons, I've got one Scotch in particular that I want to talk to you about, and that is Highland Park 12-year aged Viking Honour, I think it is. This is a really, really nice Scotch, really peaty. You open it up, take a sniff, and it feels like you've just inhaled a bonfire. It's absolutely delicious. I think it goes for around $60. Luckily, I was gifted this by my dad's friend, so I didn't actually have to pay for it. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to recommend knives, and I'm not going to recommend knives, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to recommend knife things. So, item number 2 on this year's gift guide is Sharpeners from Worksharp. If you're in any way, shape or form part of the knife or EDC community, I can pretty much guarantee you will have heard of Worksharp. Their sharpeners are, there's many, many different sharpeners, all the way from like budget, low end, cheap stuff, all the way up to things that are made for doing like crazy shit. But their precision adjust knife sharpeners are genuinely the best, easiest way to get an insanely good edge on any knife that you have. I'd never really sharpened knives other than like briefly on my granddad's whetstone until I started working with Worksharp and using their products. And honestly, the first time I used a Worksharp knife sharpener, that's a mouthful that is, the results were absolutely ridiculous. I have 4 things that I want to recommend from Worksharp in this gift guide. The first product from Worksharp that I want to recommend to you guys today is the micro sharpener and knife tool. This is honestly such a sick little bit of kit. It will literally fit in your fifth pocket of your jeans or anywhere else you want to put it. And the reason I love this so much is because it literally is so handy just for like fine tuning that edge if you need it while you're out and about doing stuff. You got a 400 grit diamond abrasive on one side, and then on the other side of it you got your ceramic one for really smoothing it down and getting that edge nice and clean. And then you've also got a T6, T8 and T10, I believe, Torx bits, which fit into the corner of the actual sharpener itself to do any knife maintenance that you need on the go, because T6, T8 and T10, as you may know if you're in the knife community, are like the most common Torx bit sizes that you need for any knife maintenance. So this is super sick, and it's so cheap at $14.95. The next thing from Worksharp is the guided field sharpener. This is so sick. It's a bit bigger. I just keep it in a rucksack, or I just keep it in my car, or wherever I'm going. On both the abrasives, you've got a 20-degree guide, so you get that edge nice and perfect on both sides. You also have a ceramic rod, which you can spin, so you don't have to just do knives on it. You can do stuff like fishing hooks, I believe scissors, and I think one of them is for serrated edges on knives. I'm not entirely sure. I've never used that one. And then you also have your leather strop on the other side as well, just for really tuning that edge in and getting it nice and fine. The next ones are stuff that you'll have at home or in your workshop or wherever you are to really, really be able to get a nice edge on your knives. The first one is the Precision Adjust Elite knife sharpener. This is so sick. This was one of the first things that I got from Worksharp. Comes in this nice case. You open it up and you have all of your abrasives. They're called tri-abrasives because, as you can see on each of these rods, you have the abrasives and they spin, going all the way from 220 grit to your leather strop right at the end. And this really, really is so helpful to really tune that edge in, put new edges on, reprofile, anything you need to do. And the thing that's really helpful about this Precision Adjust is the fact that when you set it, you set the angle that you want it to be at, and it will not move from that no matter what. And all you have to do is literally just go across the blade, flip it over, go across the blade, keep doing that as many times as you need to. Your knife gets nice and sharp. Really fine tune it in with that strop and the ceramic at the end. And honestly, you can make any knife, even like a butter knife, razor sharp using this. These go for $140, so a bit more pricey, but seriously worth it. But if you want to step it up to a whole nother level, that's when you get the Precision Adjust Professional, which is one that I recently got my hands on from Workshop, and honestly, game changer. Now, this is a bit more expensive. This goes for around the $300 mark, but it's so good. It's a lot heavier than the smaller Precision Adjust. As you can see, it's about twice the size, so you don't actually have to worry about it wobbling around or anything like that when you're using it, because the normal Precision Adjust kind of does, because it's plastic and it's a bit more lightweight. But this one, slap it down on your desk and it will not move at all. Item number 3 on this year's gift guide. A nice pair of boots. Boots are literally the best. Why would you need anything other than boots? Like, trainers suck, shoes suck, boots, whether you want Chelsea boots, my favourite, cowboy boots, lace-up boots, walk-in boots, slip-on boots, you fucking name it. Thursday boots. That's all I need to say. Their boots are insane. I've been partnering with them now for a few years, doing some photo content, a little bit of video content here and there. And honestly, they're basically the only boots that I wear. I've got a couple of boots from companies called like Lanks and Moonshiner Spirit and a couple of other boot companies. And don't get me wrong, they're all great boots, but there's something about Thursday boots that I really, really just get drawn back to every time. Once they're worn in, because they're made out of high quality leather, they fit like a slipper and they all just look insane. That's all I need to say. They are quite expensive. The cheapest pair you're going to get is probably around the $150 mark. When I first got a pair, Darnell, the guy that owns, I think he owns it anyway, Thursday boots, said to me, he was like, Ted, take these out and destroy them, because no one really has destroyed these boots yet, because they're normally like city folk. I took them out, absolutely abused them in the mountains, didn't put any care into them at all, and it took about 2 years for one pair to get ruined. Without any care at all, and travelling around the world, going into mountains, stumbling through shit, going through bogs, going in lakes, like I'm obviously not swimming in them, but like walking through puddles and shit. And it took that long for them to get ruined, and they're still wearable. I just need to get them resold. That is it. Shows how good they are. Well worth the money. And number 4 on today's list. Something that's very near and dear to my heart. Leather stuff. I love leather, whether it's a bag, a pair of boots, we've already covered boots, a wallet, a belt, you name it. It has to be leather. My mates come to my house and they walk in, they say, Ted, it smells like leather in here. Leather and whiskey. I'm like, that is a fantastic smell to have your house smelling like. So, just proves how much I love leather. But, there's 2 companies in particular I want to talk to you about today. First one is Golden Owl Supply Co. Golden Owl Supply Co. is run by my friend Chris. Honestly, such a nice guy. Makes amazing leather goods. He makes these belts that I use pretty much all the time, other than the ridiculous belt that I'm wearing today with the big old elephant buckle on it. Just nice standard minimalist belts. I think they're about $100 each. And then he makes amazing wallets, a couple of bifolds. He's got card sleeves. He's got, you name it. There's loads of different wallets. He's always coming up with really nice new designs using nice leathers. Everything is so soft, patinas so nicely, and just looks great. And then I also have this notebook sleeve that I use literally every single day from him as well. And I talked about this a bit more in my last video when I was talking about my most carried EDC gear of the year. And I cannot recommend this notebook sleeve enough. Place for your pen, place for your field notes book, and a place to keep cards. What more can you need? So go and check out Chris over at Golden Owl Supply Co. and pick something up, show some support. And your man will thank you forever. If you don't fancy anything from Golden Owl Supply Co., then check out my other friend at Grove Supply Co. because his stuff is equally as sick. Most of the wallets that I've got from Grove Supply Co. are in collaboration with my friend that runs Giant Wolf Supply Co. So they all have the Grove and Giant Wolf logo on them. And honestly, the best wallet from Grove Supply Co., and one of the best wallets I've ever actually used, is the Willow. It's so good. One piece of leather with so many pockets and so many storage solutions in something the size of no more than your credit card is absolutely ridiculous. The leather is always the softest leather that I've ever seen used in any wallet, ever. Smells great, patinas insanely well, and lasts. What more can you need in a wallet? That's leather goods. Right, we're halfway through. Item number 5, or company number 5, shall we say, Alpaca Gear. As you know, if you're a fan of my channel and you've watched for a while, I love Alpaca Gear. And if you didn't know that, because you haven't been a fan of my channel for a while and you haven't been subscribed, then the button's here. Just click it and subscribe and then you'll find out more stuff that I like in the future. Anyway, Alpaca Gear make some really helpful EDC storage things. Anything from wallets to backpacks. But my favourite stuff from them is their EDC pouches. They make really good EDC pouches. A nice size, fit in your back pocket. You can fit plenty in them and they are very functional. And then they also do sling bags. Their sling bags are great, really good for organisation, and you can fit what you need in there for like a general daily sling bag. Step it up another level, they have like an in-between between like a sling bag fanny pack thing and like their main big sling bags. It's like a micro big sling bag. This one is a recent pickup of mine from them, and I really like it. I've been using it a lot since I got it. It's just the right size to put a little bit extra in, as opposed to the normal standard bum bags that you can get, while still not being too big that it's out of place for an EDC pack, if that makes sense. And then you go up another level and you get the Bravo Sling Maxes, which are quite big. You can fit your laptop in there. I think you can fit up to like a 15-inch laptop in these with an iPad and like headphones. And this is what I use as, say, like a daily tech bag. But all of their stuff is super durable, generally waterproof, super solid gear, really good for organisation, helpful for OCD, and very functional. And these pouches to bags go from anywhere between 50 all the way up to the big, I can't even remember what the bag's called now, but the big backpack I did a video not long ago on. I'll link it here if you want to check that out. And that goes for about 250. So it's quite spenny, but you've got a good range of products in that price range that you can get as a gift. I went on a bit of a whim with this one because I kind of only had 9 things that I could think about, so I didn't have chance to actually get some more bits for this. But item number 6, or gift ideas number 6, is men's grooming products. Every man needs to stay on top of self-care. It's not gay to look after yourself. I know a lot of people that are like, why are you using all those beard products? Gay. I'm like, well, smell my face. Smells nice. Feel my beard. Softer than your puby bushy face, isn't it? And then I've just got loads of men touching my face. It's, you know, maybe it is gay. Anyway, a couple of companies here in the UK that I really, really swear by when it comes to my grooming products is Apothecary 87. I've only got a couple of empty bottles from them at the moment, but I kept them purely for this video. They do amazing beard care stuff. Probably my favourite beard care brand of all. I've worked with them for quite a few years now. Their beard oil scents are incredible. Their beard balm is incredible. They even make candles, but they do stuff like shampoos, mustache wax, which I keep with me every single day because this thing, now I'm growing it, is a pain in the dick. They do like bath salts, they do t-shirts, combs, toothbrushes, anything a man can need basically to keep himself clean and smelling good. We've got Bluebeards. These guys do really great stuff. I use their shampoo for pretty much all of my hair washing needs, beard and hair. That's the only hair I have. And it smells great, does a good job, stops the beard drying out because some shampoos, as you may know if you're a bearded man, or if you have a bearded man, you don't really want to be using your standard everyday shampoos for it because it's a different kind of hair to the hair that you have on your head. So there are specific kinds of shampoo that you can get for your beard to be able to keep it nice and soft. So the Bluebeards do have this kind of shampoo, completely plastic free. I think it's vegan as well. Not that that bothers me, but it's great shampoo. Comes in these little like soap bricks almost, but it's shampoo. A couple of different scents and it does the job. If you don't have time to get some of these things, then Bulldog is a standard everyday brand that you can get in most supermarkets in the UK, I think in the US as well. But these products, they're not as good as these other brands, but they will do the job and keep the beard nice and soft. Number 7, Homman Hadfield. Homman Hadfield makes some sick shit, man. Honestly, they honestly make the coolest storage solutions for your EDC. They have so many sick products, but the two that I'm going to recommend to you today are the Weekender and the Knife Deck. The Weekender is essentially a watch storage case for 2 watches. Guess over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday watch. But it's great because it's nice and small, doesn't take up much room, and it still looks brilliant no matter where you put it. And then the Knife Deck, the reason I recommend the Knife Deck over the Watch Deck, which they're basically the same thing, right? The Knife Deck, you have 4 slots for 4 knives. Same as the Watch Deck. But if you don't want to have 4 knives in there, the little posts are exactly the same size as they are in the watch ones. So you can take out a couple of knives and put a couple of watches in there, and it's multi-purpose. So that's just, I don't know if anyone else does that, maybe it's just a little hack for me. They just look so cool. Anywhere you put them, people always, whenever they see them in my house, they're like, these are sick. Where did you get these from? Because they just look like nothing else. And then each of them have this little drawer at the bottom as well, just to store the rest of your EDC stuff in. And these products from Homman Hadfield go from between, I think, $60, anywhere up to the $200 range. Gift idea number 8. 2 things from Big Idea Design. I'm sure anyone in this community has heard about Big Idea Design. If you're watching this as a point of view of like buying something for someone else, if your boyfriend or the man in your life is in this community, I'm sure you've heard them mention Big Idea Design. They've probably bought a $100 pen and you've been like, why have you bought a $100 pen? It's because they're sick. That is why. But the first thing I want to talk about from Big Idea Design is the TPT slide. I'm kind of like a broken record when it comes to this little pocket tool because honestly, I am in love with it. It's absolutely perfect. I'm not going to talk about it too much. There's a whole video here basically running through everything about it. So click on that and I can guarantee you will buy it for that person, and you can get 10% off if you use my discount somewhere down there. And the other thing I want to recommend from Big Idea Design is their mini bolt action pen. Such a great little EDC pen. It's so small, works so well, writes amazing, and just sits so nicely and just discreetly in your pocket. You don't even realise it's there, but you know it's there for any writing needs that you have. They do it in loads of different materials. I've got the titanium one on me right now, and that's the one that I use the most, but they also have like brass and copper and zirconium and all that stuff, and they range from like $75 up to like $250 when you're getting up to zirconium. The TPT slide anywhere between $85 and I think $140. kind of going back on my word a bit here. I said I wasn't going to recommend knives. I'm still kind of not, but something that you could buy for any man, and he will thank you for it, and he will use it, and he will not be disappointed, is a multi-tool of some kind. Whether that's the standard Victorinox Swiss Army knife, they're fairly cheap. You can get them from anywhere between like $20 up to, depending on what you're buying, like over 100. But generally, the standard Swiss Army knives, the 91mm, are around the $20 to $50 range. There's so many different ones that they make that it's hard to recommend a single one. This one here is the Huntsman. It's got 2 knives on it. It's got a saw, it's got tweezers, it's got scissors, it's got a toothpick, it's got a hook, it's got a bottle opener, flathead, all of that stuff. And then this one here is the Pioneer. It's a lot thinner, a lot more slim, and it just has 1 knife, tin opener, bottle opener, and a couple of screwdrivers on it. These are both under $30. If you want to change it up a bit, you can go for something like a Leatherman, or like what I've got here right now, the Gerber Dime. This is $25, absolutely tiny, like it's the size of my pinky finger, maybe even smaller. Opens out to a nice set of spring-loaded pliers, and then you also have your standard stuff in there, like the knife, a pair of scissors, screwdriver, you name it. And they're so cheap, so good. So if they break it, it just doesn't matter. Then just get another one and say, well, that's your present. It's gone now, innit, idiot? Go and buy yourself a new one. Nice and simple at the end. The James Brand Ellis Slim. These are really sick. These came out last year. They're UK legal carry as well, which is fantastic. Same as the Swiss Army knife and the Gerber Dime. All of these are UK legal for anyone that's in the same country as me right now, where we're not allowed to carry a fart. But I really like these Ellis Slims because it's got a nice blade, nice and sharp. You can get serrated or non-serrated. There's a version with scissors, and yeah, it just does look like a slip joint knife with a clip. But on the other end of it, you have what is essentially a prying tool or a scraper or a flathead. So it's not as functional as a Swiss Army knife or a Gerber Dime. And yes, they're still more expensive. I think they're about $100, but they're super cool, and it saves you having to carry multiple things. You can just carry that as a decent knife, because the Gerber Dime, you're not going to use the knife on that. Swiss Army knife, you may, and Swiss Army knife knives are very sharp and very good. It's not quite the same as something that feels like an actual pocket knife, while still having multiple use cases. And finally, moving on to item number 10. These are just helpful. Like, there's nothing special about them. They're just helpful. What I'm talking about is hanks. My friend Sean over in America, he's a knife maker, and his wife makes these hanks under the company called Brash Love. They gave me a few of these on Thanksgiving to test out and see if I like them, and I honestly absolutely love them. She puts a different stitch around the edges of each of them, so each of them are kind of unique in their own way. One side of them is microfiber, so it's perfect for cleaning stuff like glasses or laptop screens, phone screens, watch faces, you name it, anything that you need microfiber for. And the other side is good for maybe like wiping dirt off your knife or something. I'm not actually sure how much they go for. Not gonna lie, but it's a hank, so it can't be too much. And that does it. That is literally it. Unless you want, yeah, I'll give you one for luck. Clocks and colours. I don't need to say anything else. Heavy metal shit. And that absolutely does it. That is 11 gifts that a man cannot say no to, that you can get for any man in your life in 2023. And this is my last video for 2023 probably, so have a good one, don't get too messed up, and enjoy it, and I'll see you next year.